Hi guys, Nick here, and today I wanted to discuss something with you that some of you might find quite helpful, which is how I saved my plants from root rot. Now, when we're getting in the hang of caring for plants or while we're getting acquainted with new plants, it's not uncommon to find ourselves overwatering our plants, which can lead to leaf yellowing, fungus development, but ultimately root rot. Fortunately, I don't have any plants suffering from root rot at the moment, but unfortunately that means I don't have an example with me today, so hopefully I can explain this well enough. When your plants are suffering from root rot, they do look quite sickly. Sometimes their stems will turn yellow and get quite squishy, or you might just find that a plant toppled over on its side, or even you might just pull on a plant, tug on it lightly, and you might find that it has no roots at all. So in that case, your plant is probably suffering from root rot. So in my experience, root rot works its way up from the roots to the top of the plant. So what that means is if you catch it in time, you're going to be able to save part of your plant. So my best example that I have here today is this Dracena Compacta. So as you can see right here, it's a small little bit of plant, but it's alive, and that's what I'm going here today. When you have a plant that gets root rot, you're not going to be able to save the whole plant by any means, but you're going to be able to save some of it, so that's all I'm trying to do. So when I found this plant, it was actually quite full and healthy looking, but it was toppled over on its side, and when I had slightly tugged on it, it completely came out of the soil and there was just some rotting stem attached. So I took a clean knife, since this has enough bacteria going on, you want to clean it off with something clean. I cut off all of the rotting material and left only healthy stems. So what you basically want to do is cut off a very small amount of healthy stem so that you make sure that all of the rotting stem or plant material below that is going discarded away. And then you can see here that I have about a 1/4 inch of cane visible. So what that means, it's a little specific to this Dracena, the cane, but what you want is to have a node visible or able to get in contact with water. So I had to cut off a few leaves for this, so you're probably going to have to cut off a leaf or two to make sure that a node is visible. But then once you have, some bare node or anywhere that roots can emerge, you could just simply place it in water and wait, and that's what I did. And within a few months, I have roots. And so this Dracena right here is probably able to be planted back in soil. But then another example I have is this Sansevieria. So this one, Sansevieria trifasciata laurentii, and this was in the same condition that I found the other one. It was toppled over. When I pulled it out of the soil, there was no roots attached. It was a little bit squishy. So I cut off any squishy material and I set it in water. And as you can see here, there are some tiny roots emerging. So this one's definitely not ready to go in soil yet. It's definitely is going to need to sit in water for a little bit while longer. But this is just a surefire way to save your plants if they are suffering from root rot. I never even thought about saving my plants from root rot before. I would just see that they had no roots, throw it in the trash and forget about it. But then now I'm just deciding that it's not worth throwing it out. It's definitely worth saving it. So here's 2 plants right here that had root rot that I have saved. So lesson learned. I understand I don't have the best example to show you guys how I went about this today, but if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. As always, you can follow me on Instagram at PhillyFoliage, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!